It's Jeff and Wilma at Budrum, and we're just going to inspect our beehives at our main bee site here in Maroochydore. We've sold a lot of bee colonies in the last 6 months with the queens, so we've got these hives making themselves some new queens. So I'm just checking them all to make sure that none of them have died out. I think from memory I took a bit of brood out of this one and made a new hive. I think this is the new hive that I made. I'm going to have a look and see what's happening in that one. So as you can see here, a lot of bees up in the lid, and you can see my strategy for using the mat. So it sort of gives you an idea if you've got a bit of an overflow of population. Plus using the mat, it gives somewhere for the beetle to hide. I'm also looking to see how much honey I can rob in another week or so. Give me a bit of an idea. So that one there's getting close to full. So I know I can get some frames out of this one. There's a couple of frames next to it. So they're full also. I just want to point out that everything I do with my bees, I'm very conscious of small hive beetle. And I just want to encourage anybody else. If you live in an area where there's small hive beetle, always be conscious of everything you do. Make sure the beetle can't breed up anywhere. Now let's have a look at this hive that I made last week. So I didn't have a lid, so I put that old box on there. Now let's have a look and see if we're making a queen. So it's a beautiful day here, and it's a perfect day to bring the camera down and do a bit of videoing. Plus this sort of weather, the bees aren't too aggro. I'll have a look at this frame. There doesn't appear to be any queen cells on that side. If you want to zoom in about here, Wilma, there's a little group of 3 bees just chewing their way out. 4, 5. So you can just see here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another one over here, 6. Another one here, that's 7. They're all chewing their way out. And you can see all that glistening there. That's fresh honey that they've brought in today. You can see a lot of newly hatched bees crawling around on that frame, and there's a lot of bees chewing their way out on this side also. So there's another frame here, so they haven't made a queen cell on this one either.
There's queen cells all on this one. So
this is a 3rd frame we pulled out, and you can see here beautiful queen cells here, 3, and another one over here, 4, and they're sort of working on one here, 5. So this hive is on their way to making a new queen. I won't disturb this hive any further. This one went queenless, so it's making itself a new queen. Always check to see if there's a queen up there. Yeah, I can see young newly laid eggs in this one, and young larvae.
So it must have a queen.
It's got a queen. Yeah, there's no point in looking for the queen. As long as you see evidence that a queen is in the hive, there's no need to actually physically look for her and physically spot her, unless you want practice at looking for the queen. Whenever you put a box down on top of another box, it'll leave a few beetle behind, a few small hive beetle behind. So what you can do is just squash them. When you find them, squash them. And try not to squash any bees. This one here was very strong, so I took a bit of brood out of this one to make a new hive. So I did a hive split. As you can see, it's still got a lot of bees in it.
Yeah.
So that was after I did the split. You can see here it's got quite a strong hive. The reason why I shake the bees out of the lid in front of the entrance is so I don't squash very many. So I don't want to squash any when I put the lid on. So I shake them in front of the entrance, then they'll make their way back to the hive. This one here can be a little bit cranky, but the weather's good, so it mightn't be too bad. I don't normally have 3 boxes, but I put a 3rd box here for some reason. I can't remember why now. It's got plenty of bees in it, but I'm going to eventually take this box off. So what I need to do when I take this box off is remove some of the brood, some of the bees and some of the brood, and give them some work to do down there. Then that'll remove the urge for this hive to swarm. No need for me to look at it now. We sold the queen out of this one and all the bees out of the bottom box, so I've got this one making a new queen. So I'll just have a look and see how it's going. Haven't got the smoker going. So there's quite a few bees in the top box.
Yeah.
So I think I've introduced a fair bit of brood into this one to strengthen it up a bit. Yep, this has got a queen. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been into the brood of this one. You can see all that sealed brood. Around the outside edges there you can see larvae, and further around there you can see eggs. So this one's looking good. Got a nice young queen. This one here was making a new queen. So I'll have a look at this one, see if it's got a new queen. A handy thing to have if you've got a few hives like this is a stool, and I'll show you why. Now when you're getting on a bit, you don't want to be lifting heavy boxes all the time, so, and especially up off the ground. So what you do is have your stool. Look, so easy. Now this hive's a bit cranky. You can see they're not real happy. So I'm going to give them a bit of smoke. Now you can see here, beautiful brood, got a queen laying, beautiful. So we know that one's good. We've got a queen laying. Put the queen excluder back on. The other thing about having a stool to put your box on when you lift it off, if you put it on the grass, you're not picking up grass, you know, with your box when you pick it up. So this hive here was in the process of making itself a new queen. So I'm going to see how this one's going. Can't see any eggs or larvae on that one either. So what I'll have to do is get a frame of brood on the next one I'll look at. I'll leave this one open and I'll get a frame of brood from the next hive I look at and put a couple in the middle. If I put 2 frames of brood in here and there's a queen in here that I didn't really know she was there, it won't matter. If the queen's there, it won't matter. If there's no queen, then they can make themselves a new queen. This one here is alright. Actually these bees are a bit cranky. They came from the lychee farm. Now have a look at this one. This one was making themselves a new queen. No, this one hasn't got a queen either. 2 of them haven't got a queen. So I found no evidence of a queen on either of those 2 hives. So we found this one has got a queen. So I'm going to take 2 frames of brood, 1 for each hive. And make sure there's eggs in them. I might give it 2 frames per hive. I'll put those 2 frames right in the middle. I think we'll just do this and go home, eh? Knock off for the day. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you later. Bye.